Hey there, fellow marketers, Professor Wolters here, and today we're here in Luxembourg, and today we're going to talk about our B2B buying situations that companies find themselves in, because companies will find themselves in various types of buying situation based on the products they're going to buy, the situation they're in, how much information they have, all these kind of things. And what you have to realize is the buying situations that companies find themselves in will be different than what the buying situations that individuals find themselves in, because individuals think of individual needs. Organizations have to think of organizational needs, their employees' needs, their customer needs. All these things are going to be influence us when we're making our purchasing decisions. So what you might think of is, what is the nature of the purchase? Is it something that's vital for the business? Is it McDonald's deciding if they're going to change farmers that they buy their tomatoes from? Or is it something more basic? Oh, where do we buy our toilet paper for our local kiosk? Okay, these kind of things. We go to Sam's Club, or do we go to Costco? These kind of things. So the nature of it's going to change. Also, you look at the number of people involved in the decision making. I mean, when I want to have lunch, I make my decision and go. But when I want to go with my family to make lunch, I got to ask my wife and the kids and see what they want. When I want to have lunch with a group, it's like, okay, who has allergies? Who likes this? Who cannot eat here? What time do you have? What time can you eat? And it takes a lot more time, it takes a lot more decision making, a lot more people involved, really can influence your buying situation for a business, because there are usually a lot more people involved. Also, you might look at the level of understanding that people have in the product they're buying. For example, I understand travel pretty well, so I don't really need to do a lot of research, do a lot of background. I can make my choices. I know I'm going to go with Delta and I'll be okay. But the thing is, if it's something I don't know about, like, hey, I don't know a lot about buying a franchise. I probably want to do more research about this, or where do I want to put my franchise? It's such a complicated thing that I don't have an understanding for. I'm going to do a lot more research. I'm going to ask a lot more questions, which makes it a different kind of purchasing decision. And also, you might look at the time frame as well. Is it an immediate decision, something we have to do now, or is it something we're thinking about for the future, for more longer term? And that will influence our purchasing decisions as well. And the thing is, these purchasing situations or buying situations really will vary greatly. Now, some other reasons why our buying situations or buying decisions might change is sometimes, the market changes. Like, what if orange and blue are the really popular colors now, but during the purchasing process, we see that, red and black become really popular. Oh, do we need to make some changes along the way? Do we need some flexibility? This might influence your purchasing or buying situation as well. Because it could also be technologies changes, macro environmental changes. Hey, we're coming out with a brand new expensive car, and then the world goes into recession. Oh, maybe we switch that around. We purchase cheaper cars. We purchase, more affordable engines, so we can have a lower price car to sell to our customers. And the thing is, when we break these down, the buying situations break into 3 buying situations. One, you have straight rebuys, which is kind of like when you're not thinking too much about it, it's pretty simple. You have modified rebuys, where you're doing a little bit of research because there might be some change you want to look at. And then you have new buys. And new buys, we're going to do the most research possible, because it's a new buy. You don't know what's going on there. Now, the first one I want to talk about is what we call straight rebuys. These are kind of like the most popular, most used kinds of purchasing situations that people do find themselves in the B2B markets, because you're usually buying the same stuff over and over again. If I'm a grocery store, I'm buying the same eggs, I'm buying the same Coke, I'm buying the same candy and stuff like that over and over. So I don't really think about it. It's not like I need to make a decision. Do I carry Coke or Wolters Cola? I'm not really sure. Let's do a search. No, you're buying Coke. You're going to replenish that because that's the easy thing you always do. It's like you don't really think about what toilet paper. You're just going to buy toilet paper because we've always bought toilet paper. We're not going to worry about it. So these are very much not complicated products and not complicated situations. Not a lot of thought process goes in. Actually, a lot of companies will actually have these straight rebuys set on auto purchasing or auto renewing. That's why when you go beep beep with the candy across the scanner, well, it tracks all that, and then they know that, oh, there's only 15 Snickers bars left. We've got to ship some more out to the store. It's all connected that way. And the thing is, when you have these straight rebuys, you have what are called preferred suppliers. And if you're in a government agency, if you have a preferred supplier, you can just do business with them, no questions asked. But if it's an out supplier, someone that hasn't been used before, or someone that is, unknown to the business, if you're an out supplier, it's a lot more difficult to break into that market, because you're not someone they can just work with. They actually have to ask ask and learn about you first. So what out suppliers will probably do is you'll see them giving away lots of free samples, coming in, talking to the client quite a few times to help them understand the market, give them a lot of information, so hopefully one day they might want to use their products. I mean, it's like the old paper salesman, okay? He or she would go by and they would give like free paper all the time. You know, just in case your current paper supply runs out or you have any problems, we have some here for you. And then the thing is like, oh, maybe you ran out of paper, you use theirs. Oh, that actually is pretty good. And when it comes time to renegotiate, maybe we find out about this other paper company instead. Now, the thing is though most purchases actually just happen again and again, they're these straight rebuys, sometimes we do see a crack in the armor, let's say, and you have what's called a modified rebuy. So a modified rebuy, we as the company, we understand the products, we understand the suppliers, we're pretty much happy with them most of the time, but we see there could be some issues out there. Maybe a new competitor has come out that has a different kind of product. You're like, maybe I should use those phones instead of those phones, Maybe we don't go back and buy the iPhones again and again. Maybe we go for the Samsung because they have better battery life or a better camera. What should we do? And the thing is this is where we're getting to that area where maybe I do switch. Maybe I don't auto buy the same thing again. Maybe I make a decision again. And this usually happens when there's a problem with a product or problem with a service. And you're like, wait, it's not really working like it used to. It's kind of like in a relationship. You know, when you first date everything's so great, but after a while you start to see the flaws. Well, this is where we're starting to see the flaws and you go, do I want to keep dating this person or should I date some other people? Well, it works the same way with your services or products, these modified rebuys. Do I want to keep dating this person or keep buying from this company, or should I look for some other alternatives? Because sometimes companies just want to go in a different direction, just like you might want to go in a different direction in your relationships kind of stuff. That does actually happen. And the thing is, any of those issues could give kind of a crack in the door for those out suppliers to come in, because they're like, look, we told you this issue would happen and it did, and we knew about the market before your current supplier did, so don't you think we're good? That's why you're always educating customers, even if they're not buying from you, because it shows you know the industry. And so when they decide they might want to switch suppliers, you're the one that's helped them out the most, and they haven't made any money off you yet, but they're like, hey, they've helped me. This gives me an opportunity, and it gives that out supplier an opportunity to become a preferred supplier. But the thing is, sadly, the pre-existing supplier usually gets the business back. It's kind of like, how many of you have redated? You broke up with somebody and then you dated them again. It happens because you're like, look, I already understand how you work. I already understand how the products work. I know the services already. I don't want to have to learn all these new things for a new supplier. Just like I don't want to learn all these new things for a new person to date. You have that. So most of the time, these modified rebuys, companies actually do stay with their current supplier, but at least you have an opportunity if you're an out supplier to get in there because they're trying to get a little bit more information. They're open to opportunities. And that leads us into a new buy. So a new buy is you're purchasing something that's complicated or something you've never purchased before, or something that needs a lot of information or has a lot of risk to your company. Yes, you're going to do a lot more research. So whether it's going to be making a major purchase or a major acquisition or something like that, you're going to do as much research as possible. And yes, your modified rebuys and your straight rebuys were nice, but this is something completely different. This, you're going to need as much information as possible. So those out suppliers, they have a great opportunity here because they've been educating the clients and stuff like this. And that's why if you're an end supplier, a preferred vendor for a company, you want to be helping them, your clients, all the time. You don't want to forget about them because one of these big purchases come, one of these new buys comes, they want to have more information. They want people they can trust, okay? And so you want to share this information because people are going to do their due diligence with these things. If I'm going to buy a completely new computer system for my business, I got to make sure, will it backward integrate? Will it forward integrate? Will it work with tablets? Does it do touchscreen? I need to know all these things because with all these new buys, it really is a much more risky, much more costly endeavor. And so then companies really want to know as much as possible. And so that might mean group discussions, looking at opinion leaders, knowing the influencers, listening to them. And that's why it's important to really train your sales force and your sales staff in order to be better educators, better consultants, better helpers, better strategic thinkers for their clients, because that's going to help your clients feel more comfortable doing their new buy with your business, okay? So I hope this helps you understand the 3 different kind of buying situations that companies find themselves in: the straight rebuy, the modified rebuy, and the new buy. So anyway, I hope this helps. I wish you all the best from here in Luxembourg, and enjoy your day. Bye from Luxembourg.